In our work in the Colin James Method is that we try and look at and have analysed all the elements and techniques that support holding people's attention in a way that transcends just the normal use of language and words, but looks at the relationship that is built over time. So here are a few ideas to think about this notion of employee engagement. Throw out the traditional. And what I mean by traditional, if you are an executive or a manager and you're trying to engage your staff in a meaningful way, every communication that you conduct with them is an opportunity to deepen the longer-term relationship. But if you go into the usual stuff around how people start communicating, good morning and welcome, thanks very much for being here, appreciate how busy you are, hopefully you'll get something out of this. This sort of language, this sort of tonality is immediately a disengager. It's an immediate reminder to them of the thousands of times they've been exposed to exactly this sort of stuff. We need to start thinking about difference. Even the simple utilization of silence and pausing before you speak is enough to create a distinction, a point of interest. When you break the patterns of expectation in the sense of the conventional expectation, that's when you start to create some curiosity, some intrigue. Now this requires effort, it requires creativity, and it's not necessarily about being gimmicky. It's just the notion that when you do start, when you do communicate, when you do connect, every time, it's not relying on the old, tired methods and formulas that you've been exposed to your entire career and most people have experienced in their work lives thus far. In other words, start strong. Start with something a little different, something unique.